Hey guys, it's Matt from Project Premium Harvest. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the Roundhill and Yieldmax weekly distributions for 23 through 27 September. The first thing I'm going to talk about though is my account value. If you see my Robinhood, it's at $98,000, almost $400. So when I made my premium distribution for nvdy, tsly, and amzy, this number was like closer to 80,000. So you can see that the NAV was definitely recovered this past couple of weeks. So that's a huge win for me. This number I don't necessarily care about, but it's something just to keep track of. I really care about the premium and then paying off this heloc loan as fast as possible, because the second I pay off that heloc loan, all this money now can then be put forth towards buying an actual core foundational holding like SPY, throw more money in XDTE and things of that nature. But all right, now let's move over to Roundhill. So as you guys see here, the Roundhill distribution for XDTE for 23 through 27 September is about 18 cents a share, almost 19 cents a share. And then once we go over to QDTE, now that number is closer to 25 cents a share. And then for the new weekly premium that Roundhill created for the small caps, the weekly distribution is actually pretty impressive. It's about 36 cents a share. Now let's move over to Yieldmax. All right, so for the Yieldmax funds for this week, ymax is at almost 22 cents a share. And then ymag is almost at 17 cents a share. Nothing too impressive. These are pretty much on par with what Roundhill has. I'm not going to look at the long-term yearly return for these funds. It's better just to kind of take like a bigger satellite view instead of the macros, because you can get lost in the macros too much. And the micros where you're like, man, this is fluctuating up and down, and I don't know if what I'm supposed to invest in. Spread it out, give it a 3-month timeline, month timeline, year timeline. That's how I make my best decisions. All right, now let's move on to my profit hit and run spreadsheet. Before diving into the profit hit and runs, I'm just going to go over my XDTE distribution for this specific week. Just to kind of go over the different types of variables I have going on here. When I first started this project, I invested about $1,000 of my own money, and then with the profit hit and run money I have acquired, and then a little extra bit, the current account value is at $2,553.56. I had 37.6 shares of XDTE, about 5 shares of JETP, and then 5 shares of JEPQ. So as you can see, from what I said earlier, the distribution is about 18.81 cents. And what does that mean in an actual dollar amount? I made $7. The coffee I bought this morning was way more expensive than that distribution. But it's not about what I'm making now. It's what I plan on making in the future. So the more money I make from the profit hit and run, the more money I'm going to invest here. And then this number is in theory going to grow. So now let's go over to my profit hit and runs, because I have some updates, sold some stuff, and then bought some stuff. And I'm going to let you guys know how it's going. All right, guys, for this specific shot, I'm going to take my face out of the screen because there's not enough room and I'm terrible at OBS Studio. But either way, so what I did for this week is I actually sold this 100 shares of nvdy and this 100 shares of nvdy. I bought this back in September 3rd. That's basically a week before distribution for XDTE, or nvdy. And so the first set of 100 nvdy shares I bought was at $24.16. The second set of 100 nvdy shares was at $23.33. I sold the first batch at $23.82, and then the second batch of 100 at $23.82 a share. So technically, if you look at it at face value, I only made money off of the second set of 100 shares of nvdy, but that's not how it works. I actually own these shares for one premium. So I actually made about an extra $135. Let me explain how. So if you guys can see here, because the yield for NVIDIA for the week of September was 1.3548 dollars per share, because I had 100 shares, I've made $135 for that amount. And so my break even number with that premium payment was $22.80. And then, so basically I came out on top of $101 from this. So because this $1.35 was part of a premium payment, I just reinvested this money, like the 75-25, to make the math easier for myself. But for this second set of 100 NVIDIA, I actually made the $49 difference of the selling it or buying at $23.33 and then selling at $23.82 plus the 135. So then that grand total brings me to $184.48 for that specific premium hit and run. And then let's discuss what I bought this week. All right, so what I bought this week was Yieldmax. So because these Yieldmax funds are being more offset, I decided to buy a Yieldmax in the middle of the month because I wanted to see if I can like double dip this profit hit and run. So when nvdy hits their the ex dividend, I want to buy on that dip and then sell on the recovery. And then for Ulti, I want to kind of do the same thing. So this was my first test run with Ulti. So I bought Ulti at about $10.63 a share. And then what I'm looking to do is I'm trying to sell it at $10.83 a share. So I was trying to do a quick in and out hit and run. So basically about $20 per 100 shares, but it's not working out that way. So I bought Ulti on the ex dividend and the number went down to 1063, but the NAV hasn't been recovering at all from that distribution payment. So actually, Yieldmax is now trading at like $10.45, $10.50. So I'm technically losing money, and the recovery hasn't been what I anticipated. There wasn't a significant jump back up, kind of like nvdy, tsly, amzy, all the other like monthly Yieldmax funds. Ulti just kind of hit that ex dividend and then stayed down. So this might be my one and only time I'm ever doing it with Yieldmax. If I don't see recovery within the month, this is definitely going to be a no-go criteria. I'm just going to wait for this premium to hit again, hit that payment, and then just kind of cost average until I sell out. So it's kind of what the plan is for this profit hit and run for this specific month and the follow-on weeks. But yeah, that pretty much wraps up the video. Let me know what you guys think about the Roundhill premiums, the Yieldmax premiums, and then my profit hit and run strategy, and then my tracking of the XDTE gain so far. But yeah, wish you guys the best. Hope to see you again. Good luck on your journeys.